60, and showers and maybe a thunderstorm Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, about 60 to 65 or so. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. An earthquake's killed at least 214 people along the Iran-Iraq northern border. The former US National Intelligence Director says President Trump's downplaying of the threat posed by Russian election meddling could compromise national security. UK Prime Minister Theresa May is meeting European business leaders who want to voice concerns about the future of UK-EU trade. And Lebanon's Prime Minister Saad Hariri says he'll go home in days to formally submit his resignation.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Monday. It's November 13th, 2017. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is in the studio with you. My co-host, Mrs. Quabila Harden, is not with us today, so I'm going to fly solo. But joining us today, we have a couple of very special guests. We have Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan. They are from Fullness of Joy Ministries, and they're going to talk about something exciting and new that Fullness of Joy is bringing to the Jonesboro community. They are starting a FOJ singles ministry, and I believe they got an event coming up that's going to talk about this ministry. And before we get started, I also want to congratulate Fullness of Joy Ministries. Fullness of Joy won several awards at the recent TAP Awards ceremony, including Pastor of the Year for Bishop Adrian Rogers, Makeup Artist of the Year for Moselle Maddox, and there was a lady, I believe, won Screenwriter of the Year.
Minister Christopher Conway for Screenwriter of the Year.
Oh, okay, so basically, and were there any others that I left out?
Those were the three.
Okay, pull the mics a little closer to you.
Those were the three that that our members were blessed to receive.
And it definitely was a blessing, and definitely congratulations to you guys. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started talking about the singles ministry. So, first of all, tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about yourselves. And we can do ladies first.
Well, I'm Kyron Henderson. Of course, I'm proud member of Fullness of Joy.
Pull that mic a little closer to you, speak directly into it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, tilt it up just a little bit.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
I said, well, of course, I am Kyron Henderson. I am a proud member of Fullness of Joy under the leadership of Pastor Adrian and Susan Rogers. I am a 22-year-old senior in college at Arkansas State University. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, what's your major?
Communication studies, and my minor is sociology.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, that's just a little bit about myself.
My name is Ian Buchanan. I am a 17-year member of Fullness of Joy Ministries under the awesome leadership of Bishop and co-pastor Rogers. Work in several different areas of ministry there at Fullness of Joy, and I also serve as the events coordinator for the Fullness of Joy Singles Life Ministry. Kyron is our acquisitions coordinator. She forgot to mention that.
But she seems like she's a little bit on the shy side.
Not at all.
Oh, just okay. Just a front.
Just a front.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and get started talking about the singles ministry. So, how did the idea of this singles ministry begin? Because there are a lot of single people in the community, people who are looking and praying for God to send them that one for them. And sometimes when you are single, you get lonely and it's hard to cope, and you see others who are married or got girlfriends and boyfriends, and these people wondering, well, when is it going to be my turn? So how did this singles ministry come about?
Well, Fullness of Joy Singles Ministry has actually been in play for quite some time. The current form of our singles ministry is called Single Life Ministry, and life stands for living independently and fully empowered. At Fullness of Joy, we have been blessed with some amazing leaders who have been married for 32 years but have not forgotten about what it feels like to be single. Our bishop and first lady encourages us to embrace single life, embrace your time as a single. And our singles ministry is not just about preparing for marriage. We are empowering singles to be successful singles now. What does your stock portfolio look like? What does your health look like? What do you own as opposed to what are you renting? How many trips have you taken? What are you doing to enjoy your single life now and not just wait to start life when you get married? Minister Tiffany Wright, who is our singles life ministry leader, and myself and several others are getting together, and we're coming up with some awesome curriculum, some awesome classes to just build up the single here in Jonesboro, and we're actually getting an opportunity to take it abroad as well, because we'll be sharing some of the stuff that we shared at Fullness coming up in our sister church in Memphis.
All right. Well, that sounds very good. And what is the overall purpose and mission of the singles ministry?
Just like I said, to create a mindset that single life is not a boring life, and you're not just waiting. You're not just hoping that for the ladies, your Boaz is around the corner. You're doing something about it to prepare yourself to where you will be able to contribute when you're married, contribute something to your marriage, and not just contribute a bunch of bills and health concerns. We want to be successful. We want to be entrepreneurs. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be happy. Whole. We want you to be whole. Yeah, basically, we want you to be whole. Absolutely.
And that's certainly good things to impart upon people. And one of the themes I've noticed that you talked about is preparing the total person, not just getting them ready for the relationship, but getting the person ready for like their financial education, their spiritual life, and everything that involves that. I want to back up just for a quick second. Earlier you mentioned about how a bishop and co-pastor have been married for 32 years and how they have told the congregation to still embrace the single life and use their example to help. What is the biggest piece of advice that bishop and co-pastor has given to you guys?
Bishop says it all the time. Dating is for information and not fornication. He instructs us. Actually, he instructs us to have a notepad of questions, and our first date should be a question and answer session. And it's always funny, but it's always truthful. He says the moment that you get to the point to where your relationship is about fornication or having sex, in other words, then your conversation shifts to only that. So if you're dating the right way and dating holy, which is what they encourage us to do and which is what the Bible encourages us to do, then you can have a healthy relationship, a vibrant relationship, because you're conversating or communicating about your hopes, your dreams, your goals, your expectations, as opposed to just when the next time you're going to be able to lay down.
And that certainly makes sense. Compatibility is very important in a relationship. We have a couple of Facebook shout-outs. Shout out to Helen Scott and Viola Speed. And of course, if you have a question for Kyron or for Ian, you can weigh in on our Facebook live feed, or you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. We're speaking with Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan of Fullness of Joy Singles Ministries. I'm going to pick on Kyron for just a second because she hasn't been doing much talking. But, Ian mentioned that Bishop recommended the checklist for a first date, and typically, the man asks the woman out on a date. So have you had a date yet in which you had the checklist, and how did the experience go? Now, you don't have to, we're not going to ask you to name names of who it was, but I just would like to know, have you actually tried that? And if so, how did it work out? Because like Ian said, that is actually a good way to, see if there's even any potential future with a potential mate, because that can let you know if you're even on the same page or going in two different directions.
Right. Well, definitely. Bishop always talks about how dating is for information. And the first thing I always ask a person before we even go on a date, because I feel like I'm wasting my time and your time. If you're not saved, we really don't have a foundation and not anything in common. You want to know like a person's background. You get what I'm saying?
And true. Okay, and now let me ask you this, because you say you're 22, right? And you are a senior
Yes.
at Arkansas State University. One thing that I've noticed among people in your generation is that some of the younger people are starting to turn away from Christ or not to believe. You know, there's even talk, well, Christianity was a religion that was forced upon us, and I'm just not going to believe in that. And you're starting to see some of that in that generation. So as a younger woman with a deep faith in God, how do you deal with that when encountering people? I know it's maybe not directly related to the topic, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there to get your opinion on it, because it's something that a topic I always find interesting.
I think that young men and women in my generation, they need something that would sustain them. They need like examples. They desire examples of.
Pull the mic a little bit toward me.
They desire examples like of people who actually live the life that they say that they live. If you're a Christian, what distinguishes you, of a regular person or a Christian? Like, what's the difference between you and a regular person? So basically, just being that example of
God's love.
Yes, like of Christ. People should see your light. The Bible talks about letting your light shine before men, so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who's in heaven. You might be the only light that someone would see. So if your lifestyle reflects the love and the light of Christ, that is what draws people near to him.
And I think that would be something that would definitely come out as part of this singles ministry that you guys are doing, which is going to lead us into our next point. Let's talk about some of the topics that are discussed, some of the focus points when you all meet in fellowship. I'm looking at the talking points. I'm seeing things like how to be happy being single, advice from married couples, and of course we've already kind of talked a little bit about the advice that bishop and co-pastor have given. But what's some other advice that you all have gotten from other couples in the church, as well as some of the things talked about when you all get together in the ministry?
What I've learned is that being single is not about waiting for a spouse. There are many great leaders and examples within our church who are single, and they are living prosperous lives. One person that I admire is Minister Tiffany Wright. She's a single woman. She is an entrepreneur, and her lifestyle is not reflecting that she's just seeking a man. Like, that's just something that would come with it. When you're focused on your relationship with God and becoming whole and walking in purpose, all the other things they just come.
And that's definitely true. We are speaking with Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan of Fullness of Joy Ministries. They are talking about their singles ministry. We do have a question from our Facebook Live feed, and it comes from Christy Mathis Conway, and she asks, what do you all think about accountability as a single person in dating?
Oh my.
Yes.
Who wants to tackle it first?
Kyron will take that first.
I'll take it. Accountability is definitely vital and necessary because, let's just be real here. I'm not about to be churchy. Jesus is definitely the standard, and we are tempted just like he was. You don't ever think that you're strong enough to withstand the temptations and the trials and just the tactics of the enemy alone. Like, you always going to need someone to encourage you, and encouraging you and even holding you accountable. That doesn't mean that they're going to always tell you something that you want to hear. You need that accountability partner who reflects, the Bible verse about faithful are the wounds of the friend, because the friend is not going to just let you die and go to hell and not tell you the truth out of love. So you need accountability in order to live this life effectively in Christ.
And I think that is very important, because it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about avoiding fornication. And obviously, if you're dating, that's going to be probably one of the biggest temptations to save yourself until that particular moment in which you all do become husband and wife, united in holy matrimony.
Definitely. And it's about being wise, and like even the places you go with that person that you are dating, or even the type of events that you go to.
Definitely. We have a Facebook shout out to Sharonda Roberts. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook Live feed. And of course, if you have a question or a comment for Kyron Henderson or Ian Buchanan, you can leave it on our Facebook Live feed, or you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. So when you guys, and I'd asked this earlier, so I'm going to bring it back because when quite get to it, we kind of got a little sidetracked. But when the singles ministry meets, what are some of the activities that you all do as a group?
We have a calendar of activities that we are getting ready to start. Not everything is sitting down lecture style, getting preached to, because we are a total man ministry. So we're thinking about going to the escape room. We get together to eat. We're getting together, if a good movie comes out that we think has a great message, we'll go to that. Now, we do also have classes because we are a ministry, so we have to take care of the spiritual aspect as well. Just anything. I mean, if it's an idea that is presented, and we think that it's something that's feasible for the entire group, then we'll do it. One thing that we do annually for the last couple of years in Memphis, there's an event called Poets in Autumn. And it is an incredible event that we have been blessed to take part of. It's some of the country's foremost spoken word artists, Chris Webb and Genetics, and the Jackie Hill Perry and her husband and Ezekiel. They are amazing spoken word artists. I'm talking about, it's mind blowing, some of the product that they produce, and that's something that we are continually going to be a part of. In fact, there was even some conversation about trying to possibly, now that we have this wonderful new facility that we've been blessed with, possibly even trying to get it to come this way for our local community. But I mean, it's really not one set thing. We really will, do anything that that we can do to just help enjoy single life.
And you mentioned earlier about the classes. What are some of those classes offered? Are there classes both individually that cater to men, and some that cater to women, and then some that cater to men and women collectively?
Right now, we are currently in a series of classes throughout the month of November on Wednesday nights, classes that are focused on single life. These classes will be developed into, like I said earlier, a course of study that we will have some classes specifically for single men and single women. Right now, we're combined. One of our first classes was Working While You Wait. It was a class focused on entrepreneurship and what Minister Wright has introduced to the singles ministry as a success ladder. Basically, the conversation you have with your employer: where's my next step? What's my upward movement? Last week we were blessed with a class by our own Dr. Starks, Dr. Tasha Starks, who is a member of Fullness of Joy and has her own private practice there in Paragould. If you need a PCP, go see her. She's amazing. And that class was called "Are You Healthy Enough to Hump?" A big focus in single life is getting married so that we can, actually, be married.
Yeah, well, I remember, because you all do a church broadcast here on, and I remember one of the church broadcasts where Bishop said, and he said, men get married for legal sex.
Yes. That's and so that class was geared with the man in mindset, but it just presented practical things that you can do now to increase your health. And we talked about it earlier. You don't want to take health concerns and health risk into your marriage. So just things that you can do right now as a single man or woman to be healthy Healthy enough to hump. And then this Wednesday, we have a class called Liabilities and Lines of Credit. It's basically working on your credit, working on your stock portfolios, working on your 401ks. We have some awesome people who will be coming in to help us with that and to help us with that class and just give us valuable information. And then we have our bishop and first lady will come in and teach our last class. But we are focusing on both men and women in these classes. This is not just typically you see a lot of single women and not a lot of single men in a church setting. That's not the case at Fullness of Joy. We have a pretty balanced group now. Of course, there are still a lot of single women at Fullness of Joy. Shout out to any of the saved men who want to come to the singles conference. There will be a lot of single women there.
I might need to holler at my guy, Brother Boyd, in Little Rock.
Come on through. Bring him on in.
I would definitely let Brother Boyd know, and shout out to you. Speaking of shouts, we got a Facebook shout out to Keisha Hagans, and Keisha actually has a comment. She says, "Good morning, FOJ, proud of our singles ministries." We also have another comment from Christy Mathis Conway. Says they do panels, community service and outreach, social fellowships for all ages, but not just young adults. We appreciate those comments. And she says, "I was a part of the singles ministry before marriage. They are great." So there you go. You've got a testimony right there about the singles ministry. We are speaking with Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan. They're from Fullness of Joy Ministries. They're talking about their singles ministry. And I believe y'all got a conference coming up soon, don't you all?
Yes. We do, this weekend coming up. We're excited. We're
going to talk about it on the other side of the break. You're listening to Community Conversations, and this is KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Have you told anyone today how busy you are? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Not many days go by without someone telling me how busy they are. They explain how they're swamped with work or with kids or with traveling. I've said some of the same kind of things. But the odd thing is how some people say how busy they are with a sense of pride. They equate busyness with value, with importance, and with honor. Here are 3 reasons why busyness is not a badge of honor. First, it harms our kids. When we think busyness is good, we then impose it on our kids. We create an environment where our kids constantly run from one activity to the next. As a result, they feel pressure and get anxious. For more reasons why busyness is not a badge of honor, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Courtesy Productions and KLEK presents the first annual Christmas and Blues Southern Soul Showcase featuring Billy Soul Bonds, Charles Wilson, Mo B, and Ricky White. Live December 16th at the Epic Center, 1899 CR 333 Hasbrook Road, Jonesboro. Showtime 7 p.m. Ticket, VIP, and other info 870-203-9951 or klekfm.org.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us, you'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information. Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, under the direction of Bishop Adrian Rogers and co-pastor Susan Rogers. www.FOJministries.org.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLK 102.5 FM with our guests, Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan of Fullness of Joy Ministries. We're talking about their singles ministry, and we've been having a very lively discussion. Before we get back into it, they're going to talk about the conference coming up, but let's go to our Facebook Live feed. Keisha Hagens had a question. She says, if single parents want to attend the conference, will child care be provided?
That is an awesome question. I actually just spoke with our Fullness of Joy nursery staff, and we will have childcare provided. So single parents, bring them on out. They will be in a safe, wholesome environment, and you can enjoy yourself while they are being taken care of.
They single too.
All right. So and since Ms. Hagen's question was about the conference, let's go ahead and just get into it. So let's let the listeners and the viewers know what they can expect from this singles conference.
Okay. Well, the 2017 Single Life Singles Conference is themed Heart and Soul. And basically what we are hoping to accomplish during the conference is there are things in our life as a single that creates sort of kind of a stony heart, a hard heart, something that causes us to just really not really like single life. It could be the fact that that you were expecting to be married by now, expecting to be a little bit further along.
And not to cut you off, that's actually a very salient point, because I have known, especially with young ladies who basically have freaked out because they've reached the age of 30. I don't know what it is about the age of 30, but you know, I've seen women who have hit that age and they're not married, they don't have kids, and they just feel like the world is ending.
Well, it's not just single ladies, because in my life plan, when I was in high school, I planned on being married by 25. I'm 34 and I've been engaged twice and I'm not married yet. So it's actually something for single men as well.
For those of you that are listening, she patted him on the shoulder. So I'm gonna go left for just a second. Both of y'all are single, right?
Yes.
Have y'all ever thought about dating each other? I'm just saying. I mean,
Karen is a very, very beautiful young lady.
I mean, she looked like she would make you a good catch. I mean, she's a woman of God. You're a man of God. Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to play Love Connection on the radio. Let's get back to the conference.
The Lord. Amen. But during the conference, we are going to address not only those issues, and our speakers are going to address those issues and ways to break up that stony ground, but we're also just going to present a fun environment to show you that it's okay to have fun. It's okay to come and mingle with other single people, that dating life is not over, that it's not something that is hard. Mm-hmm. You can come and enjoy yourself in the same way that you used to enjoy yourself in more of a secular manner. You can come and enjoy yourself on the safe side.
So they'll also, I'm assuming y'all have activities and food provided.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Karen is going to give you a little bit more of the particulars of those activities.
Well, Saturday we will have food, fun, and fellowship, and we'll have like panel discussions about relationship perspectives. They'll be open for single men and women to converse, so that's going to be exciting. Sunday, we have a service, of course, at 11 and 7 p.m. Let me go back to Saturday.
Saturday night is what we call soul sessions. And Saturday night, we're going to have some amazing singers. We're going to have some amazing spoken word. We're going to have some amazing food. We're going to have some amazing looking people come out. Saturday night is when you come out, put on your nice clothes. Ladies, put on your heels and your makeup. Guys, get nice and a nice suit on.
And that's this coming weekend, right?
That's this Saturday, November the 18th. Yes, this Saturday coming up, and it begins at 6 p.m. At Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Avenue, formerly the Nettleton Baptist location that we have been blessed.
And it is a beautiful facility.
Yes,
I know when you all first opened up, Etoya gave me a tour of it, and I was just blown away myself.
Well, we've been in it for a while, and every time I walk in it, I still get blown away. So, I mean, it's definitely a huge blessing, and we're very thankful for the use of those facilities.
All right, and we've got a couple Facebook shout-outs. Let's see. Etoya, in fact, we just talked about her. She says, Kyron, what are you looking forward to for this weekend? Dante Harris says, LOL, ha ha ha, KMSL. I guess that was when we were talking about the little love connection. And Keisha says, that was hilarious. And Etoya says, oh, father. All right, so let's get to Etoya's question. Kyron, what are you looking forward to for this weekend?
I'm looking forward to the ultimate turn up, and that is showing you how to prosper in each and every area of your life. I want to be an entrepreneur one day. So,
what kind of business would you like to start?
She can do a lot.
Yeah, I'm multi-talented.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, I have this station, I DJ, I do photography, so embrace all of your God-given talents.
I really want to coach and model at the same time.
Well, hey, go for it. I'm a firm believer in people pursuing their dreams, and you use your God-given talents.
Yes, and one of the entrepreneurs, she's going to discuss how to manage several streams of income. So I'm always excited about that. Cha-ching. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well,
and also fellowshipping. I love fellowshipping with other singles.
On Sunday, during our conference, we, like Kyron mentioned, we have an 11 a.m. service and a 7 p.m. service. During that 7 p.m., actually during both services, we're going to also incorporate a game, and that game will be sort of kind of a play from singles against married couples. There's going to be some questions.
It's going to be a battle of the genders.
A battle. Yes, yeah. It'll be pretty cool. We're never church as usual at Fullness of Joy Ministries. So this weekend will be no different. There'll be door prizes given out. There'll be registration back. Oh, hold on a minute. Let's talk about that.
Remix.
Hold on just a second. We do have a registration for the conference. It's not required that you pay the registration in order to come, but it does help out with the cost of the conferences.
And how can they register?
You can register online at Fullness of Joy Ministries, or you can see you can inbox me for more details, and I'll give you I'll inbox you the actual link to go online and register. Registration.
And that's Ian Buchanan.
Yes, on Facebook. Ian Buchanan on Facebook. I got a gray suit on with a little yellow pocket silk, so you can't miss me.
No, already.
Shout out. And one thing that Christy Mathis Conway mentioned that I really want to make sure that it is known. Fullness of Joy Singles Life Ministry is not just for young adults or young 18 to 35. We have singles at Fullness of Joy all the way up to 70, 75. So it's really
something for the grown folks.
Told you it's not about just getting a spouse. I mean, I'm going to have one, but
yeah, me too.
But let's kind of transition into the little bit, because you mentioned about people in their 70s. So when you have a single that age, you potentially have a situation where that person could be a widow or a widower. Mm-hmm. So how would this ministry benefit someone in a situation like that?
Wisdom for the younger people, of course. I mean, I always say you need someone under you, you need someone on your level, and you need someone older than you pouring into your life. It's all about helping one another, and that godly wisdom from an older person is always.
And I imagine it's not to cut you off. I imagine that it's good for them, like you said, to give them that fellowship, and give them also an opportunity, to possibly rediscover love themselves.
Absolutely, we have some of the livest senior citizen singles, I guess you can say. They're definitely something for everybody at this conference. We don't leave them out. Of course, like you said, that there might be a situation where they're widowed, but we definitely make sure that they're covered in the ministry as well, because they are a part of us.
All right, and we got some more Facebook shout-outs. Nakia Porter Casey says, definitely come out. The atmosphere and ambience will bless you. Marsha Phillips says, thanks for the invite. Keisha Hagan says, what are the age limits? And Nakia Porter Casey says, you will truly not be disappointed. And Dinah Marshall said, yes, my mom is one of them.
Yes,
Mother Marshall.
She was giving me relationship advice last Wednesday. That's funny.
So one of the questions was, what is the age limit? Is there one?
Fullness of Joy Singles Ministry starts off at 18, and then we go from there.
So 18 all the way up to 100.
100. And now let's and I have to throw this plug in because I'm a part of another ministry at Fullness of Joy. Our crew is a very active ministry here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We're going to be at Kroger on Thursday, helping with the Feel the Food Bank, and then also on December 2nd. And I believe Kyron is actually walking in this fashion show. Is that Kyron?
Well, hey, she said she wanted to be a model.
Yeah,
so
she wanted to be a model. This is top model time. We have
that experience.
Absolutely, we have a winter fashion show December 2nd, also at Fullness of Joy. Inbox me for details on all of those events coming up. Thank you.
He's the plug. Inbox.
I am the plug. Inbox me for anything.
He's the plug. We got another Facebook shout out to Dinah Marshall, and she says LOL. So appreciate everyone who's checking in. We've got some love, some likes, some ha-has, and stuff going on all over.
Y'all are funny.
Well, hey, that's what it's all about. Okay, so let's talk about some of the feedback that people have given you from this ministry. What have people said? What have people told you all that they've gotten out of it? How has this ministry blessed people?
Well, I can speak personally. Some of the relationships that I've built during this time, and relationships, I mean friendships, that I've built with some of the FOJ singles when we hang out has transformed my life. You talked about accountability earlier. We work very closely with our couples ministry, our marriage ministry, and in fact, we're actually videotaping a series now called If We Knew Then What We Know Now. And that's basically, we've asked some of the married couples in our church questions that we want to know as singles and stuff like that.
Give an example.
Of
a question.
One of the questions that we asked was, were you ready to be married when you got married? And there were some very candid and open and honest answers. Some of them said, no, we were not ready. Some of them said we thought we were ready. And some of them were ready because they had dated the right way and had dated long enough. We also asked them, what is the biggest piece of advice that you can give to someone who wants to be married or is single? A lot of those were talk about everything, communicate effectively. We had one couple that said something that has stuck with me, and I was doing the interview, and they said the person that you date evolves into the person that you marry, but you need to be very careful because the person that you marry also evolves. So you're not going to stay with the same person, because as they get older, as they mature, as you spend time together, they change just like you do. So I mean, for me, the feedback from the singles ministry has been incredible. In my own personal life, when I went through the situations that I went through as a single man, a lot of people don't think that single men hurt the way that single women do, but they do. And that's something that we talk about in our ministry as well.
And let me transition that to something we mentioned off the air, because we had talked about some personal things, but okay. When you say that men don't hurt the way that you hurt, and the question I'd ask off the air is, being a young, even though you're 34, but I'm 39. I'm 39, and people still call me young. But being a young African American male, and some people think that black men, we're not supposed to cry. We're supposed to be so strong and hyper masculine. And sometimes, because some of us men may not display those traits, we may not, in some cases, be seen as desirable. So how do you respond to that?
Listen, this is what I say. If you are looking for your Boaz, and he is a man that will cry, that will worship, that will communicate, that will show his emotion to you, that's who you need to be looking for, because that is someone that will love you the way that he loves God. I myself, I think I cry almost every Sunday during worship. It's a situation, and I'm very open and honest and transparent about the things that I've been through in my life. So
not to cut you off, I think people have. I'm sorry.
Hey, we're just letting the spirit flow.
I think everyone has different perceptions. You asked the question, what has this ministry done for you? For me, it has made me comfortable being single, because I haven't always been that way. Seeing others, especially other married people who have a tendency to look like they're doing well, and they could very well so be doing well. But you don't know where they started or what they're currently going through or what they went through to get to where they are now. I think everybody I know everyone has to start from somewhere. But it has just caused me to be comfortable being single, getting to know Kyron, becoming whole. I'm actually not looking for a Boaz or a man. Boaz died like right after getting married, so that's not my preference. But
she's saying that with passion, y'all.
I just think it's just different for everyone. So, like I said, this ministry has made me comfortable being single. I'm trying to continue to learn myself, grow myself, and yeah. Back to you, Ian.
Right. Well, let's go back to the Facebook chat. We want to make sure let our listeners and viewers get a chance to weigh in. And let's see what's back. We actually got a bunch of them on here. Tiffany A.S. Wright says, singles, we will be lit. Ladies and gentlemen, make plans to attend. I can't wait to play Mentally Stimulate Me. You got to tell me about that in just a second. Then she also says, wisdom, the information we receive for living single successfully. Christy Mathis Conway said, I was found by my husband out of this ministry. This ministry helped me to become whole as a single person and not to marry someone to complete me. Nakia Porter Casey says, my mother was one of the original leaders of the singles ministry, and with her being a widow, her wisdom and experience truly has helped me as well as many others in our ministry, and she is 73. Christy comes back and says, this ministry also taught me that women should bring something to the table and a man shouldn't just be a knight in shining armor. Women are ordained helpers and the weight is not on a man. And Dinah Mitchell enjoyed the season. And Christy brings up a good point. I want to bring in Kyron about this, because I actually saw a meme on social media, and it says, I'm paraphrasing, basically, if you're with the man and that man is struggling and can't provide for you financially, then basically you need another man, that he's not good for you. And that kind of bothered me, because there's a difference between a man who just sitting on his rear end and not trying, but what if you're a man and you're trying to make it, but you may not be making a lot of money, you may not be making the ends meet, you may not can provide your mate the nice house on the hill or the nice brand new car, but you're trying. But as a man, should you be disqualified for doing that? What happened to the woman, standing by her man and help? So I want to get your perspective on that.
My perspective on that. I don't think a man should be disqualified. I've heard, how marriages work, and, in marriage, especially if you get married young, you're going to have struggles, and maybe, like an example, if you were both college students, it's hard. It's hard being a college student.
I've been there.
I think it's a joint team effort. Like, I don't mind helping a man when he's down. I mean, I'm not your mother, and I'm not going to be doing this forever, and you're not going to be down forever. But I don't have like these overly high expectations.
Well, not to cut you off, but I think some people, and this goes for men and women too, I think they want a ready-made mate. Everything.
You're not even ready.
But that's what, unfortunately, a lot of people want that, especially when it comes to the financial
And when
part.
I say I'm talking about the woman too. Like, you, as a woman, I can say this: you can't have overly high expectations. Like Christy said, what are you going to bring to the table? You should be able to help yourself financially. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I'm talking about, becoming whole. And that's why one of my favorite parts about this conference is learning how to become prosperous. And that's in each and every area of my life. So I don't think that disqualifies a man. I think you should be able to help your mate.
And that is well said. The singles conference is coming November 18th, 6 o'clock p.m. Fullness of Joy. Definitely looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So for all my singles out there, if you're looking for a good man of God, a good woman of God, come on out. You never know. You just may be blessed to meet.
Or if you're looking to become a good man or woman of God yourself.
There you go. Of course, there will be fellowship as well. So with that, we're going to get ready to go to break. We are speaking with Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan of Fullness of Joy Singles Ministries. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Constantly running out of money before you run out of month is a sign that you need to get your spending under control. If you have a budget but can't seem to stick to it, you could be buying into lies, also called marketing messages, which cause you to overspend. Here are a couple of them with reality checks to help you change your spending habits. Save money by spending with us. The lie here is that it's possible to spend your way to savings as long as you shop at the right places. How about buy one, get one free? If you have to buy something to get something else, the second thing is no more free than the first one was. Think I'm just being technical? Try turning down the first one and asking for the second so-called free one and see what happens. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
For almost 3 years, KLEK 102.5 FM has brought you the music you love on your radio, on your computer, and on your phone. Now, we want to bring the music to your party, wedding, or any event. KLEK now offers DJ services for all occasions with over 22 years of DJ and broadcast experience. We can also announce your event on KLEK. Need a photographer for that special occasion? We got that covered too. Package deals available. Book us for DJ, photography, or for both for your event today. Call 870-203-9951 or look us up on social media at KLEK FM.
Attention members and guests.
This is your girl, Sweet Angel, the red bone with a saxophone, coming to Legends Barbecue Smokehouse, Saturday, November 25th.
A night to remember, starring Sweet Angel and the S.A. Band, performing songs like Juking at the Hole in the Wall,
At the hole in the wall.
Can't Walk Away. Showtime 8 p.m. Ticket and other information, Legends Barbecue Smokehouse, 870-530-3121.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with our guest Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan of Fullness of Joy Ministries. We've been talking about their singles ministry, and they have a conference for singles, which is going to be November 18th at 6 o'clock p.m. at Fullness of Joy. And it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of activities are going on. And before we went to break, one of them that was mentioned in the comments was the Mentally Stimulate Me game. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Mentally Stimulate Me is a game, sort of kind of like a Battle of the Sexes game that takes a very interesting perspective on relationships. If I'm being 100% honest, I have not fully played the game. It's a game that's being introduced to us by our singles ministry leader, Minister Tiffany Wright, and also I believe Dinah Marshall has played this game before. So I'm looking forward to playing a new game that I've never played before, but from what I understand, it's a battle of the sexes on what we think about relationships and different topics.
All right, and would you like to add anything to that, Kyron?
I was just about to say it's about different perspectives on relationships, so he basically said it all.
All right, so for those of you who are just now tuning in, we are talking once again with Kyron Henderson and Ian Buchanan about the Fullness of Joy Singles Ministry, the Singles Ministry as well as the conference. For those who are just tuning in, let's kind of do a quick overview of the ministry and what they can expect from the conference.
From this conference, you can expect food, fun, and fellowship, insight about relationships, about enjoying your single life, about managing income, getting your credit together, what to expect while being single.
And the conference is November 18th and 19th, this Saturday and Sunday. The times for the conference this Saturday is going to be 6 p.m. There will be childcare provided for single parents. The conference is for both single men and women. We want anyone over the age of 18, and our singles leader always says if you don't have papers, that means you're single. So even if you are in a dating relationship, hey, this is an excellent date night on Saturday night. Put some clothes on, get your smell goods on, come out and enjoy some awesome poetry, some awesome singing, some awesome food, and then Sunday, come and just church with us all day. Experience the word that will transform your life at both 11 a.m. and 7 p.m.
And we have a Facebook comment from Keisha Hagan. She says, on the subject of marriage, society is always trying to make a mockery out of marriage. People are striving for the ideal wedding and have no idea how to stay married. Be careful, always looking for Boaz. You may be blessed with a David. He had issues, but he loved God too.
Oh my
Love it.
And Dinah Marshall said, yes, Keisha. So
Keisha, David, that's a very touchy subject, but that's definitely the truth. David was a man after God's own heart, and most people know, if you're a Christian, what the things that David did. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I like that.
Wow.
That. In fact, Keisha, get that prepared. You might have to teach that in the coming future.
Well,
amen.
Well, there you go.
Would you want a David?
Well, all right. Well,
Would you want a David?
We're going to go ahead and...
Would you want a David? Keisha, she just gave you your title.
Well,
Would you want a David? Lord.
All right. Well, let's bring Kyron back into this. This is something we talked about off the air. Now, in the earlier segment, I asked Ian about being a young African-American male and some of the challenges of being single. So now, as a young African-American female, I'm going to ask about some of the challenges you face being single. And a particular challenge is men approaching you the wrong way. I mean, obviously you're 22, you're on a college campus, and not every man is going to approach you with respect. And of course, nowadays, people don't even approach in person. They do it on social media, especially like on social media apps like Instagram. Well, they call it slide in the DM, So how do you deal with that when, let's say for an example, some guy goes into your DM and may inbox you a disrespectful picture or a disrespectful message? How do you handle situations like that as a young African-American female?
Well, I think that's your perception about, how certain men...
and it's not all.
The way they approach you. From personal experiences, after the fact that I started, like if I start talking to a guy, he would say it took him forever to approach me because I look stuck up or intimidating. I think that's something within themselves. And I'd be like, well, that's what you get for thinking. The way I handle disrespect, I really don't get disrespected like that. I've been disrespected like in a DM because I didn't respond. But I usually just use that block ministry effectively. I hit that block button.
Yeah, and Ian's been he's been saying off the air, man, talk about the curve game. Talk about the curve game.
Talk about your curve game,
That's
Kyra.
the curve game. I just use that block button, but in person, I don't respond to something that I'm not. So if you say something inappropriate to me or something that I find disrespectful, my curve game is really strong. I probably just won't acknowledge you, so you'll just be left.
We got a Facebook comment in response to that. Diana Marshall says, things women face being intimidated by independent men think that we are so unapproachable. So I wanted to throw this question out to both of you. Do you, and it kind of ties into what I said earlier about how certain men may approach a woman disrespectfully. Do you think that because in society as a whole, the breakdown of the family structure, that there's not as many morals being instilled as it used to be, do you think that is contributing to situations where we don't even know how, not everybody, but some people just don't know how to approach people properly anymore? Because one thing you also have to look at is the reason why some women get approached like that. Some women, but the reason why some women get approached that way, because there's some women that do let men get away with that. I've always said if every woman on the planet said, no, you are going to treat me with respect, men would change it up like that.
I think for me, because, and again, I do work with our youth ministry, and that's something that we try to instill in them at that age. I think because of social media and Instagramming and DMing and texting, we don't know how to communicate with each other anymore, and we don't have real expectations of men or women, because we see these Instagram and Insta famous people, and we expect that to be the standard and the norm when it's not. So I think that a lot of times it's just an issue of not knowing how to communicate with each other. We think that text lingo and text language and what we see on memes and what we see online is acceptable, and that's not it at all. And it takes the village, it takes your parents, it takes your ministers at church, your people, to just instill good solid values, good solid communication into people.
All right. Well, we've got quite the interesting question, and I want to get it in because we only got 2.5 minutes left. Christy Mathis Conway says, "Is it okay for women to approach a man? Opinions, please. What do you all think, including you, Leganzi?"
Approach me.
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Approach me. I love it. It's flattering. Yes.
Hey,
what you think?
If a person catch your attention, I mean, you can approach a person in different ways. I mean, you don't have to come in a person and say, hey, let me holler at you. You know, you can just simply strike up a conversation. In fact, I'll give you an example from this past weekend. Even though, basically, I was just sitting down at Legends for the after party for the TAP Awards, and I was just sitting by myself on my phone, and the lady that was the host just said, hey, you just want to come sit and talk with us? And I came over and talked with her. I mean, it wasn't she was trying to holler at me or get at me. She just said, invite for conversation. So, I mean, it's nothing wrong with asking a person for a conversation. You never know where that may lead to. But I'll leave it with you guys. We've got 90 seconds, so you can answer the questions and then just kind of wrap up talking about the ministry and the conference.
It's a way to approach him. I think you're just supposed to let him know. You give him that look.
We know when you give us that look. Amen.
Give him that look. Strike a little short conversation. Do it multiple times if you're a woman. You don't gotta let him know everything, but you just let him know.
And I think it's a debate about that, because some people think it should be the man that makes the approach, and the man should take the lead. And
but just let him know that you're interested. Like I said about how some men think I'm unapproachable. The people that I want to talk to, they know if I'm interested. I don't have to say I'm interested. You're just gonna know.
Okay. Natasha Harden says, I've approached a guy before, but that was a long time ago. LOL. I just told him that he was handsome. I don't think I'd do that now unless I was approached. I don't know. Appreciate it for all you for checking in. So we got about 30 seconds. Once again, it's going down November 18th to 19th, 6 o'clock p.m. Fullness of Joy Ministries, the Singles Conference.
2120 Thorn Street.
2120 Thorn Street. We will be back on Thursday for more conversation and to release the special guest that we're having on Sunday night.
And of course, for those of you that didn't get your questions or comments on talking about who should approach who, we can continue that discussion there as well. May you guys have a great and blessed day.
Thank you.
You listen to Community Conversations, and this is Kate, LEK, 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK